You spend hours preparing beds, watering, weeding, and still your harvest is smaller than you hoped. Meanwhile, there are gardeners pulling twice the yield with half the effort. The difference isn't luck or expensive tools. It's understanding one simple truth. Plants grow better when you stop interfering. Today, I'm going to show you 3 ways to grow more by doing significantly less. Most gardening advice pushes you toward control. Control the water, control the nutrients, control every weed. But here's what that misses. Nature doesn't micromanage, and it's been growing abundant food for millions of years without human help. When you constantly dig, water on a strict schedule, and clear every piece of organic matter, you're not helping the soil, you're destroying it. You're breaking apart fungal networks, killing beneficial organisms, and forcing yourself into a cycle where plants become dependent on you. That dependence means more work, weaker plants, and smaller harvests. The solution isn't to try harder. It's to stop disrupting the systems that make plants thrive on their own. Let's start with the no-dig method. This is exactly what it sounds like. You stop turning your soil. Instead of digging or tilling every season, you build layers on top of the ground. Lay down cardboard to smother grass and weeds. Then add compost, aged manure, or any organic material directly on top. Plant into that. That's it. Here's why this saves you massive amounts of time. Digging destroys soil structure and brings dormant weed seeds to the surface, which means you're creating your own weeding problem. No-dig beds have fewer weeds because you're not activating that seed bank. The soil stays intact, so it holds water better, meaning you're watering less. And because you're feeding the surface every season with compost, the worms and microbes do the mixing for you. You're not working the soil is working for itself. People who switch to no-dig often cut their garden labor in half within the first year. Next, let's talk about perennial vegetables. Most gardeners replant everything from scratch every spring. Tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, beans. That's a lot of seed starting, transplanting, and babysitting. Perennials are plants you plant once, and they come back year after year with zero replanting. Asparagus, rhubarb, walking onions, Egyptian onions, perennial kale, sorrel, garlic chives. These aren't exotic, they're just underused. Once established, they require almost no attention. You don't start seeds, you don't harden off seedlings, you don't replant. They just show up in spring, you harvest, and they go dormant in winter. Over 5 years, one asparagus crown saves you dozens of hours compared to replanting annual crops in that same space. And because perennials develop deep root systems, they're more drought tolerant, so you're watering even less. You're trading 1 hour of planting for years of harvests. Third, self-seeding annuals. Some plants, if you let them, will drop seeds and replant themselves. Lettuce, arugula, cilantro, dill, calendula, borage, nasturtiums. Here's how you use this. Let a few plants go to seed at the end of the season instead of pulling them out. Those seeds fall, sit through winter, and sprout on their own the next spring. You didn't plant them, you didn't start them indoors, they just appear, already adapted to your soil and climate. You thin the extras if they're too thick, and you harvest the rest. That's it. This works especially well with greens and herbs that you use constantly. Instead of replanting lettuce every few weeks, you let it self-seed once, and it keeps a rotating supply going with zero input from you. You're not managing a planting schedule. The plants are managing themselves. All 3 of these methods share the same principle. You set up the system once, then you step back and let biology do the work. You're not adding tasks. You're removing the need for tasks. And the result isn't just less work, it's actually better growth, because you're working with the plant's natural rhythms instead of against them. If this is the kind of gardening that makes sense to you, practical methods that respect your time and still give you real food, then subscribe. This channel is built for people who want results without the burnout. There's a whole library of techniques like this, and I'll keep sharing them. Let's grow smarter, not harder.